I'm in the city of Akko in northern Israel along the Mediterranean coast. These are the Baha'i Gardens, and it's where the shrine of Baha'u'llah is located, where the founding prophet of the Baha'i religion is buried. The Baha'i faith is just a little over 150 years old. It started in Persia in the mid-19th century. And while it's a young religion and still fairly small, it's growing. The Baha'i faith is now identified as one of the most widespread religions on earth. In fact, it's sometimes described as the second most geographically widespread religion after Christianity. And so while many people are not familiar with the Baha'i faith, it's growing and it's increasingly significant. And the gardens themselves are beautiful and serene, and they invite people into reflections about life and faith and world and God. The Baha'i faith is a monotheistic faith, promotes themes such as progressive revelation, the independent investigation of truth, the equality of all people, all races, all genders, the harmony of science and religion, and a number of others. But Baha'i is especially associated with tripartite emphasis on oneness, the oneness of God, the oneness of all people, and the oneness of all religion. And through those themes, the Baha'i faith and Baha'i religion provides a way for people to imagine all the great religions in world history as being a part of one progressive story, one progressive stream of God's faithful revelation in the world. Baha'i began in Persia. In the year 1844, a Shi'i Muslim named Ali Muhammad declared himself to be the forerunner of a new prophet, a new manifestation of God that was coming into the world. In that role, Ali Muhammad became known as the Bab, or the Gate. And he prophesied and prepared the way for what he said would be a new era, that God was preparing to usher in a new era of world peace and revelation in the world. In a Shi'i Muslim context, that message, of course, was very controversial. And in the year 1850, the Bab was publicly executed. Just a little over a decade after that, in 1863, another man came along named Mirza Hussein Ali, and he claimed to be the one that the Bab had been foretelling. And he became known then as Baha'u'llah, or the glory of God. Baha'u'llah spent most of the rest of his life in Persian and Ottoman prisons. The last few years, he was under house arrest in this house behind me. And during his time here, he wrote. He established or formalized a lot of the teachings and writings that would become so important to the Baha'i religion. He also received visitors from all over the world and corresponded with people all over the world. He gained a large number of followers, and the place of his burial became the Qibla, or the Qibli, the point of direction of Baha'i prayers. And so today, 8 to 10 million Baha'i around the world pray every day, and in their prayers they face this location. Later on, the Bab's remains were also brought from Persia to Israel, and he was buried just a little bit south of here in the city of Haifa, along the slopes of Mount Carmel. And where he's buried is another set of Baha'i gardens and what's called the Shrine of the Bab. And Haifa actually became the spiritual and administrative center of Baha'i worldwide and still functions in that way. So a very significant place as well. But it is here in Akko, at the Shrine of Baha'u'llah, that is the holiest place and the direction of Baha'i prayers. When we think of Israel, the state of Israel today, we usually associate it with the Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. And that's true. But today, there's another great monotheistic faith that's associated with these lands, and that's the religion of Baha'i.